one thing that's always bugged me. Over 70% of restaurants featured on the show still shut down. So in this video, I'm visiting a few
Really?
Still shut down. So in this video, I'm visiting a few restaurants seen on Kitchen Nightmares that are still open to see if Gordon's help actually makes a lasting difference.
Well, is it the restaurant business also like one of the worst businesses to get into? There's like a crazy statistic on like, I think it's like over half of restaurants closed within the first 5 years. What percent of restaurants fail? 17 to 30% of restaurants fail in their first year. Wow. 50% close within 5 years. Yeah, that's wild. Like, if you see a restaurant pop up, there's like a toss of the coin on whether or not they're going to exist in a decade.
Or is it all just good?
Because it's such a competitive business and the margins are so low, like it's hard to market. I think so many people too, it's like, the shit you see on Kitchen Nightmares is every time it's like, well, I made money in real estate and I just really always wanted to open an Italian restaurant. They open the place, they have no marketing, all their shit's frozen. It's like literally like store-bought pasta. And it's like, what are you doing? You don't understand. Like, how are you somebody that is successful in this business and has no idea, like, you didn't even do any research before, like, buying $1 million restaurant and deciding you want to fucking open it. Bone, thank you for the 5 subs. Hollywood Dante, Pickle for the sub, Scrum for the 3. Bone for the 5. Thank you for posting bangers. What's the size and material you got for your display? Metal, and I always just get like the regular one or small. Garrett and Mason for the sub. I don't get I get matte. I don't get the glossy. It's not too expensive. It's more expensive. It's some designs it makes more sense though. Funky for the sub. Retro Rewind, not today, on Monday. Yo, lock in. Yo, please don't 10 bits right now. Shoddy, thank you for the 3. Somebody who was going to school for culinary industry, it's the hardest, least possible to business you can own. Actually, wait. On topic, bit dono. Never mind. As somebody who's been going to culinary school for culinary and culinary industry, it's the hardest and least profitable business you can own. The profit margins are less than 5% after all expenses. Isn't that why, like, the whole point of a restaurant is you get people in the food and then up price for the liquor? Like, that's why every good restaurant has, like, crazy specialty drinks. And, like, part of the appeal of the restaurant is, like, you get food, but you also get fucking 5 martinis. Because that's where they make money, is selling you liquor. Because that's, like, the margins. Hunter and Legacy for the sub. Real, thank you for the 5 gifted. Louis for the sub.
TV. Good morning, everyone. It's time for breakfast. And what better place...
70% of restaurants in Iceland fail in the first year. Well, yeah, it's also Iceland.
...to visit than the...
Yo, you know one Iceland restaurant that's so fucking good when I went? Oh my god. It was like some fucking chicken place. Yeah, chicken. Wait. Chicken Iceland. Reykjavik. No, not this place. Chat, yo, for the 3 people that live in Iceland in my chat right now, what's the place that serves potatoes and chicken and they have old cartoons on the ceiling in Reykjavik? I loved that place. I went there for lunch like every day. No, not KFC, bro. Not KFC, bro. They had a good like revolving sushi place too. Dude, the restaurants in Iceland were awesome. Chicken place Reykjavik. Chat, Rock. Oh my god, wait. No, it was Le Coq. I remember that's why I loved it. It was Le Coq. Le Coq. That was the name of the restaurant. How do I show this? Where's like the front of it? Why is it black and white? Yeah, Le Coq. And you would order at the front, but they bring it out to you. Oh god, they had burgers. That's what it was. Why is this such a low quality image? How do I find a better image? Le Coq. Loved this place. This is in Reykjavik. I'd get a beer. This is where, dude, there was also like 15 guys in suits that recognized me in Reykjavik. I don't know if they went to like a preparatory school or some shit, but they were like, Joe Bart. That's not what they sounded like. Surprisingly, Icelandic people straight up sound like they're from Philly. when they speak English. I'm so dead ass. No accent. They sound just like me. Like every Icelandic person I talk to, I was like, you don't even sound like you're from another country. Like, you just sound like you're from like New Jersey or some shit. Like, who's teaching you English? It's crazy. Lecoq.
The restaurant featured on Kitchen
And you would go, I'll have the Lecoq potatoes.
Nightmares, a season 9 finale, Simmer Down Cafe. Located in Georgetown, Texas, this cute little spot was established in 2017 by a man named Chris Marino. What's crazy is that at the time they were featured on the show, not only was Simmer Down Cafe extremely close to shutting down, but Chris's marriage was also in shambles. Luckily, Gordon pulled up and pretty much saved the day, marriage and all.
Gordon literally doing couples counseling mid-fucking review.
Or at least that's what we saw on TV. Since this technically is the most recent restaurant to be fixed by Kitchen Nightmares, that makes it the perfect place to test whether or not—
Wait, Kitchen Nightmares is still a show that's, like, actively ongoing?
Gordon's changes actually stuck around. So without further ado, let's head inside. Hi, good morning. Just a table for one. Okay, so I just got seated, and I gotta say, the inside of this restaurant is actually really, really cute. Right when—
Yeah, bro, but I don't want to say it is cute, but it's also like, have you noticed this like millennial style like open roof where you see the vents and the fucking like foam on the ceiling and shit? That's like a new thing. And I don't know if I like it or don't. I hate that. I don't hate it. It's just like you see it and then everyone starts doing it. And it's like, it's no longer unique.
Cute. Right when you walk in, they had a cozy looking waiting area that just feels like someone's living room.
Yeah, bro. Imagine sitting in that cock chair. You'll be ready in 30. Okay, yep, let me go sit in the haunted chair.
The walls are painted this bright teal color, and they even had this cool, funky record wall. This is super nice.
Quote, we do it a bit different here. We actually do it a bit Have you ever been here before? No. Oh, wonderful. So this is how it works. All right, so as you can see, there's a whole list of things. You're going to pick a side, you're going to pick an appetizer, you're going to pick a main, entree, and a dessert. It comes in a whole package, customizable completely to you.
To see, especially because I'll be judging each of the restaurants—
Nito! Fuck, it's stuck.
I visit today based on the major issues Gordon faced when he first visited on the show. Now, food-wise, the menu is fairly simple. They've got all of your classic—
Oh, God, I love any breakfast place, man. I'm not even lying. Like, that's just the easiest shit ever. Just fucking serve eggs and toast, and I'm happy. Big boy breakfast. Yeah, I'm fucking munching that down. I hate when they title shit that, though. It's like going to, like, an ice cream place, and it's like, I'll have one big boy. Yeah, I'll have the super yummy hungry size. Big boy breakfast. Just make it like the combo platter. Like, I'd title it that.
American breakfast dishes, along with some lunch options like—
Yeah, the old timer. Just a sopping wet hamburger. That's the old timer. A sopping wet pound hamburger smothered in onions. Smothered in onions in Worcestershire.
Lunch options like burgers, sandwiches, y'all get the gist. But personally, what I'm the most interested in is something called their liver and onions. I know that doesn't necessarily sound like the most appetizing thing to eat this early in the morning, but it is what Gordon ordered when he first came here, and he had some thoughts on it, so that's what I gotta get.
Yeah, Gordon's the guy that'll order the lobster at the fucking diner to really test you. I mean, that is, like, kind of valid. You order the hardest item they have, and it's like, if this tastes good, then the rest of the restaurant's probably good.
Thank you so much.
That looks fucking disgusting.
Ladies and gents, my food has
I don't even think that's the restaurant. It's just like, I would never want to eat that.
finally arrived. Here we have a plate of—
Oh my God. Dude, I'm just not a fan of gravy, man. I'm not a fan of gravy. That does look like a thicker gravy, though. Maybe something that I would enjoy.
Liver and onions, served with mashed potatoes, some fried okra, and a biscuit. What's crazy about this dish is that during the show, I believe Gordon actually made them take it off the menu, yet it appears they've added it back. Whether that was a good idea or not, I'm not sure. But there's only one way to find out. So, this dish is definitely interesting. It's
Yo, you know that shit's bad. You ever eat something? You ever eat something before and you gotta lock in on chewing it? You just go dead silent. You're like, swallowing it with water like it's a pill. You just gotta get it down, bro. It's just gray matter at that point.
for sure not my favorite thing in the world, but I do want to be nice since I'm not quite sure what this dish is actually supposed to taste like. I don't know if this is like a good version of it or not. All I can really do is critique it based on my own personal palate, so keep that in mind. If I'm not mistaken, Gordon's biggest critique when he tried this dish in the show was that it was too salty. Unfortunately, I will have to agree with that. Not only is it overly salty, but I think the liver itself, along with the caramelized onions, might be a little burnt. It has that like burnt, bitter aftertaste, if you know what I'm talking about. I promise, I'm not trying to be mean, but now that
Yo, I would never be able to do this review if I was him. This restaurant is the size of like a storage unit. Like there is most definitely a waiter like 5 feet away from him that sees him talking about this.
I've tried the liver, let's check out the sides.
There was like 10 tables at this restaurant.
The okra and the mashed potatoes, honestly pretty solid. Alrighty everyone, so I'm done eating and I'm finally ready to give y'all my official thoughts on Simmer Down Cafe. Like I said before, the inside of the
It's a cafe and you ordered liver and onions. That might be a user error.
restaurant is extremely adorable. The service was great, but the food though, yeah, that didn't really wow me. I will say this might not be the fairest.
You gotta get a coffee. It's a fucking cafe. What are we doing? What are we doing? You gotta get a coffee. You gotta do what John Cena says. He's a big coffee aficionado. What does he order? He goes, I'll have a flat white. He goes, you always judge a coffee place by their flat white.
Critique, since liver and onions might
If it's too milky, they're more of an accoutrement place than a coffee place.
not be my ideal dish in the first place. But with that being said, it is time to answer the question.
Editor, throw up the video of John Cena talking about accoutrements. Editor, if this becomes a video, throw up the flat white reference that I just made. Thank you.
Did Gordon's changes actually stick? From what I can tell, it seems like
Yo, John Cena owns the bald spot on the back of his head. Like crazy owns that bald spot. He should really shave his head though.
most of the physical changes like the decorations did, but since food really is the most important part, I'm gonna have to say no. But before anyone gets mad, that doesn't mean I think this place is doomed or anything like that. I'm pretty sure liver and onions was added back to the menu at the request of a few regulars, so maybe that—
Yo, what a fucking great business spot though. Literally open up across from an Anglican church. Yo, you're getting fucking straight business on Sundays.
few regulars?
Yo, that's a pocket bowl, dude. Literally open up right next to a church.
So maybe that's not a bad thing. It is time to head to the next restaurant, which just so happens to be only a 12-minute drive away. But before I start driving, let's
Oh, this city's full of nightmares.
see what I'm getting myself into. All right, everyone. I've now made it to Grumpy George Pub and Grub. I apologize for anyone offended, but
If you don't get a fucking Guinness, I'm gonna actually punch my monitor. If they're promoting Guinness on the umbrellas outside of this is a pub, you gotta get a Guinness.
by that terrible accent, I thought it fit the vibe. The Grumpy George was established in 2023 and
You're an alcoholic? I'm not. If you go to a pub, you rank a pub drink-wise off how well they pour a Guinness. How cold is it? What's the fucking top on the Guinness look like?
featured on the 8th episode of Kitchen Nightmares Season 9. According to the show, the restaurant is supposed to be a classic English pub, but unfortunately, it didn't feel very British. Seeing that Gordon did grow up in England, I'm assuming he was a little offended by this place claiming to be a true British gastropub, hence why he wanted to fix it so badly. Let's go see if he managed to actually make a difference. Now, what's really interesting about Grumpy George—
Oh, this food isn't wet enough. Oh, no. See, this doesn't make me want to throw up. It's not English enough.
is that unlike most places on
Why is it so salted?
Kitchen Nightmares, the
No, too much seasoning.
The restaurant itself actually looked great from the start. Lots of reviews highlight that the inside does take people back to what old
Where's the studios? I'm sorry.
pubs in England feel like because of their
Where's the studios at? Bring him out.
British-style bar, cozy atmosphere, and the fact that they have a dedicated dart room. Apparently that's a staple.
So instead of being upset about the decor,
Dedicated dart room. It's one dartboard in the corner.
most of the issues Gordon faced came down to the food. If you take a look at their menu,
Yeah, that shit kind of looks bad.
came down to the
Yo, those Brussels sprouts. You know, you bite into one of those Brussels sprouts, it's like eating a mattress, dude. That's just gonna be not cooked enough. Yo, those are. I know those are undercooked.
food. If you take a look at their menu, it definitely feels British, but when Grumpy George first appeared on Kitchen Nightmares, they were serving up something completely different.
Even though one of the owners is from England, she didn't have any restaurant experience. Meanwhile, the chef they hired knew nothing about British cooking and was learning
Yeah, it's always like some dude from another country, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, I'm actually from the Dominican Republic, and I'm cooking up Norwegian food." Like, what the fuck?
how to make the dishes from videos online.
If I'm not mistaken, Gordon literally had to do an entire overhaul of the recipes, so we'll see if those flavors stuck around.
What, he's just telling them what to order? Jumbo shrimp? Oh, is that a
So my
salad?
food's been ordered, and I am very curious how long it'll take to arrive. Not because I'm in like a rush or anything, but because
During Gordon's first time watching the restaurant operate,
Yo, you ever see that video of the restaurant that instead of bread, they give you like tomato and olive oil? And there was some TikToker that like raved about it. She's like, "This is so good. What a cool thing. It's like it builds your own tomato." I'm like, yo, I'd be like, what is this? If I'm sitting down at a restaurant, they just bring me a whole tomato, a knife, and olive oil. I'd go, hey, why am I here? What is the point of a restaurant if now I'm making my own? It's different. It's like, because you could say, oh, well, what about Korean barbecue? Well, Korean barbecue is like an experience. They have the specific places in front of you. They have the hot pots. You're choosing your own selections and you're eating it there versus like somebody just bringing you a whole tomato and a knife. It's like I could just do that at my own place.
food orders were taking up to 50 minutes just to arrive, causing major issues. Hopefully that's not still a problem.
The Scotch egg.
awesome, thank you.
Do you need anything else?
That should be it.
Okay.
Ladies and gents, the food has arrived, and according to my timer,
Is that fish and chips? I love fish and chips.
it's only been 10 minutes, which I don't know if you can do the math, but that's a lot less than 50. So here we have a Scotch egg, which happens to be a quintessential British gastropub dish. And of course, since this place is British, your boy had to get some fish and chips. Now, the first thing I want to try are these Scotch eggs, because
Yo, hot take. These highest skill ceiling level of fries, okay? If you get a good steak fry, they are the best fries. Like, skinny fries are the easiest to make and the hardest to fuck up. But like, if you have a like you can get a real wet, like undercooked, like bland steak fry, and it's fucking disgusting.
some fish and chips. Now,
But they could also be amazing. Potato wedges. Ooh, actually, you're right. No, potato wedges with the skins on them. Oh, that's not even French fries, though. But do these count as fries? No. I would have these any day over any fry in the world. This is, oh my God, see, this is making me hungry. Wow. Dude, these also look amazing. Can I say? These recipes. Might have to hit them up. Wow.
Now, the first thing I want to try are these Scotch eggs, because when Gordon was served them in the show, they were undercooked and apparently looked so bad.
You fuck with curly fries? Curly fries are a bit overrated, man. They're fun, but nah. I like a waffle fry.
He took a photo of them and sent it to his mom. That's crazy work. From the looks of things, my Scotch egg is definitely more cooked than the one Gordon got, considering it's not gushing everywhere. So far, so good. But let's see how this thing tastes. Cheers. That is actually pretty good. Like I said, the egg is not undercooked, but the yolk is still jammy, which I do prefer. The pork is seasoned extremely well. There's a good amount of salt, along with some...
Oh, that's pork on the outside? I thought that shit was like fucking like pumpernickel bread.
other spices and herbs that I can't quite
That's pork on the outside?
pinpoint. You'll just have to trust my word for it. I think it tastes pretty good. I also want to try this with their homemade piccalilli. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I'm
Like
assuming
a whole ass sausage on the outside.
it's acidic. I'm still not quite sure what this is, but it definitely brightens up the entire thing. I like it. Pardon the humble flex that I'm about to drop here, but not only have I eaten at pretty much every single Gordon Ramsay fish and chips restaurant in America, I have also been to Gordon's cooking school in the UK and learned how to make proper fish and chips from the teachers that he employed. The reason I'm bringing that up is pretty much to say, I know how this is supposed to taste. First things first, I need some lemon. Now let's cut into it.
Dude, I always think it's so weird though that fish and chips is such a staple dish in the UK, like, you know, atmosphere. Or like ecosphere, when the fish, isn't it haddock that's used, isn't even from the UK. Like all the fish and chips that people eat in the UK is like caught in like Iceland and like shipped over. And cod. Yeah, but it's like none of it's from the UK. Like it's all imported. So it's like not really a local dish.
Not bad. The inside of the fish still looks juicy, flaky, not dry, which is pretty much all you can ask for based off looks alone. Now let's taste it. As expected, the fish is nice and flaky. It's cooked very well. Tartar sauce is solid. Although the
Yo, bottom tier dish, baked salmon. Ruins it. Ruins it. Baked salmon. Like there's so many good fish. It like I feel like people don't like fish. People are always like, oh, fish is just it's so fishy. I can't eat tilapia. I can't eat this. I can't eat that, bro. There are fish that's like just fucking disgusting. Like bluefish is just bad, but most fish is just how you make it. Like air fried salmon, raw salmon. Pan-seared salmon, mint. Baked salmon,
interior isn't super crispy. It is very light, which means after I'm done here, I will not fall into a food coma,
Shrimp, that's a crustacean.
which I appreciate. I know technically I should eat this with utensils, but it's kind of falling apart as I cut it, so I'm using my hands.
For dessert, I ordered the sticky toffee pudding, which is another British classic, and I will admit, it was very yummy. Then I paid the bill, which came out to roughly $53, and of
Oh my god, no Guinness.
course, I had to use my beautiful Chime card.
Oh my god, I do ads for Chime. Hold up. I gotta skip this though.
I'm gonna stop doing
QR code.
So I'm officially done with my meal at Grumpy George, which means I'm gonna stop doing this terrible accent now. Anyways, let's get right into things. From what I can tell, it seems like Gordon's changes have obviously stuck around.
Did you know with Chime, if you're not using a high yield savings account, you're missing out on money, right? Did you know that an average bank account has a 0.39% APY, whereas with a Chime high yield savings account, you can get 3.75%. So if you're investing an average of $6,000, that's only giving you around $80 in return versus.
The food was great. It also
Bro, is that shit memorized? Yeah.
came out really
Yeah. Same with the Cash App one. For a limited time only, Cash App customers over the age of 18 can sign up with Cash App using Cash 10. You get $10 dropped into their profile when they. You realize I have to memorize that shit, right? Like when I do an ad, I'm not reading a script. Like I might some of it is scripted, but a lot of it's like, hey, follow these points, and then just kind of like spiel off of it. But usually like CTAs, I have to memorize the whole paragraph.
fast. And although I might not be the most qualified person to say this, I'm gonna say it anyways. I think the restaurant felt British. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. So I've made it to Harrison, New Jersey, and the spot behind me is called the Spanish Pavilion.
Appearing on season 4 of Kitchen Nightmares, this spot has been around since 1976, and it's dubbed the first Spanish restaurant in New Jersey.
What's crazy is that Spanish Pavilion is only one out of 2 restaurants from that season that's still standing. Everyone else has since shut down.
What?
So let's go see why.
Now, upon entering the restaurants, I was honestly a little nervous. In the show, Gordon actually discovered a dead lobster inside their dining room fish tank. Obviously, that was a huge health hazard, so before I could even think about eating,
Yeah, that's just a problem, bro. You got a dead lobster in there.
I had to make sure that situation did not happen to me.
Bro, I feel like I always feel bad when they have that shit, but whenever I see they got that live lobster tank, I go, I know what I'm getting. Hold up. Like, there's this one restaurant. There's this one restaurant in the Caribbean that I've been to where they have, it's not Maine lobsters, it's the Caribbean lobsters, and they're just in this fucking floating tank like this, and you just pick one. They go, which one do you want? I go, that one. And he goes, okay. Hoists it out. It's on your plate. Next day. Or not next day. 20 minutes later.
So I'm not sure if this place looks exactly like it did after it got its makeover on the show.
When I was a kid, I remember I went with my grandma and she ordered one. And she was like, I feel bad. And then I named it. I was like, Edward. She was like, don't do that. I was like, it's Edward. Because then you associate them with like you're humanizing. It's even worse. Yeah. They bring him out. I go, oh, Edward.
But I do know that the goal was to make the inside feel
Edward's gone.
brighter and more welcoming,
I took his eyeball.
which, after looking around, I think they're still doing a good job of.
Now, along with updating
Edward's Deadward now. Yep.
their decor, Gordon also had them introduce tapas to the menu, which are these small Spanish shareables.
Doing so helps differentiate them from the other 40-something Spanish restaurants nearby, which I think was a good idea. Now, as for what I'm gonna get, the first thing Gordon ordered when he came here was their paella, and he absolutely hated it.
So, what better way to gauge whether Spanish Pavilion has actually improved than to get exactly that?
So I just placed my order, and another issue I want to point out from the show is that apparently the service here sucks.
When the show aired, the restaurant was run by 2 brothers named Michael and Jerry, who at the time didn't really care about the restaurant, resulting in the staff having no one to lead them.
I do believe that in the reunion episode,
But they're from New Jersey. I mean, come on. You know, a lot of it, you gotta, what are you expecting out of us?
though, it showed that Jerry ended up taking over, and that does show since the service so far for me has been absolutely fantastic. Along with recommending me some tapas to try, they immediately brought out some bread, and I think this is chicken.
Oh, dude, that's a problem when they bring out bread. I just be munching, dude. They bring out a French bread roll.
Bread, and I think this is
Here
chicken
at Texas Roadhouse, they bring out the rolls.
noodle soup
I don't need anything else, thank you.
that comes with my meal. It is quite chilly in New Jersey, so chicken noodle soup does sound pretty good. Cheers. You know, that's a pretty good chicken noodle soup. It's very cozy. It's not like the craziest thing I've ever had, but it comes with my meal, which means it's free. Can't complain. Ooh, thank you so much.
Can I get you anything else?
No, this was fantastic. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some bread in my mouth, but the appetizers have arrived. This right here are some artichoke hearts, and over here we have their braised pork belly. First things first, I'm gonna try these artichokes because vegetables. Cheers.
You know, when you go to a restaurant, though, the majority of the time, anything outside of like salads, like most of the healthy things that you order at restaurants are extremely unhealthy because they douse everything with like just heaps of butter. Like if you ever go to a restaurant and you're like, wow, their vegetables taste so much better than mine at home. Yeah, because it's unhealthy. Yeah, because it's literally covered in oil. Like the entire time, you're, oh, this actually tastes good. Yeah.
Ooh, that's good. Wait, what? You know when you eat something and you really can't control the facial expression you make, that was the vibe that just happened right there. First off, the artichoke itself is super tender. It's cooked extremely, extremely well. What I wasn't expecting was that the sauce that's on it,
Like, that's not healthy. I know he was joking. He said because vegetables, but like that can't be good for you. What's an artichoke? A vegetable. But that can't be... Like, they're breaded, covered in some sort of, like, aioli lemon butter.
it's kind of tangy. It's really bright. I don't normally eat artichokes, but if I were to eat them more often, this is how I'd want them cooked. Now that the healthy green stuff is out of the way, time for some pork belly. Now I know
The healthy green stuff. Deep fried Brussels sprouts covered in Parmesan cheese. I'm getting my vegetables in for the day.
I should probably cut this into a smaller piece, but
Whenever they have deep fried Brussels sprouts, though, I get them every time. And in my head, I go, I'm going to be crop dusting this restaurant in about T-minus 1 hour. Bad. That should be the next Mr. Beast challenge. Everybody has to eat 5 pounds of Brussels sprouts, and whoever farts last wins.
okay, there is no way the food tasted like this before they got on the show. Otherwise, I don't think they would have ever needed to get on Kitchen Nightmares. The pork belly...
You fart while you eat? No, but I mean, you know, if I'm in a non-packed restaurant and it's bad, like I got to fart and I can't hold it in. Like you have a small fart, you could hold it in at a restaurant and it's fine. But you ever have one that like hits you and you're like, if I hold this in, this is gonna be around the sternum region soon, and then it's gonna cause bloat and I'm gonna feel really bad. So you know, I hit one of these. Well, not that obvious, okay? Okay, we're having a conversation at a restaurant. You're sitting across from me. I'm going, yeah, you know, I don't really know. So, ripped ass right there. Little lean, drink, talk, rip ass, move forward.
is super tendy.
Bro, and like people will be like, yo, that's gross. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, what are we from the Capitol in the Hunger Games? Since when did we become this like nepo fancy ass? Oh, sorry. Let me get my royal wig on, dude. If I have to rip ass, I'm gonna fucking fart. Okay, like if it's bad and I know it's gonna stink, yeah, I'll go in the bathroom. But if it's just like a mini fart and the next table's 10 feet away, yeah, I'm gonna fucking crop dust. Okay.
Oh, tendy. The pork belly is super tender. It's rich. It's like super, super salty. But the acidity from the
Stand up and announce that shit. Oh, I will own that, bro. If I'm like hanging out with my friends, I'll just go. Clearly, just a bad cough. 3 seconds later, just rip ass. Won't even say anything. It'll be so loud.
diced tomatoes on top
Giggle to myself.
really balances
Maybe blame it on Brooke.
it out. Overall, flavor-wise, that was absolutely fantastic. With the tapas being this good, my expectations for the paella are honestly through the roof right now.
Let me get you a dinner plate.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the paella has arrived. Honestly, when I first saw that it cost $36, I was thinking, okay, might be a little expensive. But now that it's in front of me, this looks worth
That is a lot of food. God, it looks so wet, though. Like right there.
every single
Kind of the point, though.
dollar. This is
That shrimp in the middle is fucking calling my name.
beautiful. So the one I ordered is the Paella Valencia. I was told by my waiter that this
It's not supposed to be dry? I know.
is the exact
I just don't like really wet dishes.
same one that Gordon ordered on the show. So, you know, making sure I'm doing things right. In this skillet, there's chicken, chorizo, shrimp, clams,
And I can't eat it.
mussels, scallops, calamari, and langoustines. This is hands down the best looking entree I think I've ever ordered in the history of this channel. I don't even want to break into it because that's how pretty the skillet looks.
What's
But
chorizo? Sausage.
I'm gonna do it anyways, because that's my job. I think I've died and gone to seafood heaven. My brain's malfunctioning. So far, 2 out of the 3 major issues Gordon faced when visiting Spanish Pavilion have been cleared, but none of that matters if this paella isn't good. For all my Kitchen Nightmares fans, you need to visit this place. This paella is absolute perfection. First off, it feels like every single element in it, whether it's the chicken, the chorizo, the calamari, it feels like all of those items were cooked individually. Nothing is dry. The rice is fluffy and nice. Flavor-wise, there is so much going on. I am genuinely so...
Yo, I gotta say, I commend the YouTubers that are able to fucking sit here alone and just talk to a camera in the corner of a restaurant with a crowd behind them and not feel, like, embarrassed. I'm not saying they should feel embarrassed, but, like, I would be like, oh god, everybody's gonna think I'm cringy. Like,
impressed by this paella, and I haven't even tried every single part of it. Oh yeah.
When's Pembroke collab? 7th to the 11th. I'm filming a video with him. How it'll go, we don't know. He said, oh, it's going to be a surprise. I said, okay.
Also, surprise, Jim's here. He's feeling a little shy today, though, so that's why I haven't been filming him, but I really wanted him to try the paella.
Oh, he's with someone else. That makes it so much easier.
Good? All right, everyone. As you can probably tell by my face, your boy's full. I feel like I cleared a good amount of this paella, even though it doesn't look like I...
Bro, why do you care about people around you? Bro, I'm not saying I care about people around me to the extent where I'm trying to, like, turbo please them. I'm just saying there's a level of, like, social awareness that I get anxious about that stuff.
I've even made a dent, but regardless, I gotta admit, I wasn't expecting too much before
You're acting like that's abnormal. Like, that's not like 99% of people.
walking in here, but after trying the food, I am thoroughly impressed. When Gordon first walked in, it was indeed a nightmare. But in my experience, the restaurant was extremely welcoming, the service was absolutely fantastic, and most importantly, this paella was the bomb diggity. This was phenomenal.
Taking all of that into consideration, I think it's safe to say that Gordon's changes definitely stuck around and made a huge difference.
All right, everyone, things are about to get a little crazy because I've officially made it to sunny Los Angeles, California, and behind me is the one and only
Manhattan Beach.
Lido di Manhattan.
Featured on Season 3, which aired over 15 years ago, this Manhattan
Wow.
Beach staple is often considered the most
15 years ago? He's been doing this shit for that long? Lido di Manhattan is one of, if not the most successful. Oh.
considered the most successful Kitchen Nightmares project ever.
But when Gordon first came to visit, this place was a mess. The owner barely knew how to cook, the kitchen was disgusting, and worst of all, the food was downright terrible.
Bro in my chat just said LA mentioned. Like, LA is a niche city. LA mentioned ball knowledge, no way. Holy, hold up, Tokyo? Wow.
Clearly, the impact Gordon had on this place made a huge difference considering how long they've been open. Not to mention, every single article I could find was extremely positive. However, I want to see for myself if it really lives up to the hype. Okay, now I'll go inside for real. Hello, I had a reservation. Yeah, just for one.
Now I gotta admit, I was a little thrown off when I walked inside here, because even though Lido's has a great reputation, this place was completely empty. As I sat
I mean, it might be time, you know? Like, some restaurants just have dead times where no one pulls up. Like, I think really any successful restaurant, if they're not one... Like, you know, there's some restaurants that only open up at, like, 5 p.m. and they stay open till, like, 10. Like, they're open like 5 to like 8 hours a day tops. Those ones, yeah, usually always packed. But there's a lot of restaurants that open at like noon and don't really get a crowd till like 6.
down and looked over the menu. Unfortunately, I did begin assuming the worst. What if...
Oh my god. I tried the non-sub only. See, the subs will stay on topic. Their chats are at least semi-related to the video. When it's not in sub only, it's like just all bro's asking about it. Ander Dangus edit. Somebody be what are we talking about, bro?
if the reviews are all wrong and Lido's actually fell off? But thankfully, in the midst of all my worrying, I'm not sure if y'all can hear that, but other customers have arrived. Are we back?
I really don't know why the place being empty at first threw me off so much. I'm gonna blame it on the fact that I'm extremely hungry, and the only thing I've eaten today is a bag of pretzels on the plane right here. Now I've also finished.
Dude, ideally you have a restaurant that's like 70% full. Dead restaurant, way too quiet, bad vibes. Also, they're not playing music, even worse vibes. Full restaurant, packed, you have to wait, terrible, too crammed. You want something where it's like they're still spacing you out, but you hear that, you know, just like random noise from people talking. I love that.
Looking over the menu, and
Just the fucking white noise of just like it's 85 conversations happening at once.
I gotta say, the food options do sound quite tasty. Because they are considered the most successful Kitchen Nightmares project ever, I'm gonna do things a little differently and order a few items to really put them to the test. So my food has been ordered, and like I said before, when Gordon first visited this place, they had a multitude of issues, but the biggest one had to be with the owner herself.
This is Lisa Hemmett. She became the owner of Lido's in 2004, and upon meeting her for the first time, Gordon quickly exposed how inexperienced she was.
2004? Bro, I was 2 years old.
Not only had she never
Half of my chat probably wasn't even alive then, bro. She owned that restaurant that long?
Gordon quickly exposed how inexperienced she was. Not only had she never worked in restaurant management before, she did not know how to cook, couldn't communicate properly with the staff, and if all that wasn't bad enough, she was even dating one of her employees.
How do you own I never understand that shit. It's like he comes to these restaurants, they're like, yeah, I have no experience in the restaurant business. I don't know how to cook. I've never actually really cooked for my... How did this happen in your life? Like, what was the path that led you to owning a restaurant? How did you acquire money to own this restaurant?
The good news is, although the episode started off rocky, by the end, Gordon was able to get through to her and supposedly helped to turn things around.
I'm pretty sure she still is the owner, and based off of how things are running so far, despite the fact that the place was like empty when I walked in, things do seem to be going well. Service has been great. They even brought me free bread.
Which
Passed down by parents? Yeah, but I don't know if that'd be the case for this one.
I may have demolished while waiting for my food.
Thank you. Ladies and gents, the appetizers have arrived. So over here we have Lido's baked eggplant roll and some barbecue chicken flatbread. Now first things first,
That looks immaculate. That looks okay. Show me the pizza. Show me the pizza.
free bread. Thank you. Ladies and gents, the appetizers have arrived. So over here we have Lido's baked eggplant
Appetizer?
roll and some barbecue.
That's a whole ass meal right there. That's an entire fucking flatbread pizza. Ooh, chicken actually kind of looks bad. Too cubed. I like it really crunchy. I feel like there'd be a lot of flop here.
Chicken flatbread.
I want a pizza with no flop. I want to be able to fold the slice like this and it to be an airplane arrow. Boom. Just nothing. A little bit of just like thin New York styled pizza.
Now first things first, I have to try this baked eggplant roll because this dish.
How much do you think this is? What, those two appetizers? How much do those cost? That flatbread's probably like at least $18, maybe 22. You got to keep in mind they're in LA, so it could be like 25. That right there is probably also another like 18, 20 bucks.
Is also the first thing Gordon ordered when he came here.
He wasn't a fan.
Like, yeah, cumulatively, I'd agree, like $45 for just those two. And then they're getting a main entree as well.
And said it was weirdly crunchy while also being undercooked.
Originally, my plan was to get Gordon's exact order, but it seems like a few of the other items he got.
Oh, God, ahi tuna towers are fucking disgusting. I love tuna. I love ahi tuna. I love poke bowls. I love raw tuna, cooked tuna, seared tuna. The tuna tower shit that they serve at like fancy restaurants in places like Nobu, get rid of it.
Aren't available anymore. This is literally the only one left. So I'm assuming they've learned how to do it right, but we'll see.
What is it? It's usually like a mixture of tuna, some sort of sauce, maybe like avocado and other shit, and then you have chips. They like mush it into a cup and then go like this and put it up or pull it out. And then it's just like sitting there and you kind of like attack it. It's like nachos. Too much going on. I don't like that. I don't like that. Too much going on with nachos. Too much going on with ahi tuna. If I don't know there should be one singular best way to attack a dish, and that's what I enjoy. I'm not going for the whole like, oh, you know, or it's just 85 ingredients piled on top of each other.
Smells Smells pretty good. Cheers. So right away, I can confirm, flavor-wise, it's actually very nice. The eggplant has a slight sweetness to it that pairs really, really well with the tomato sauce. And as for the texture, it's nice and tender, perfectly cooked. Wow. It seems like keeping it on the menu was a good idea after all. Yeah, that hits. Next, let's try this barbecue chicken flatbread, which I did have some very specific reasons for ordering.
The first being that my waiter recommended it, and you gotta trust your waiter. And secondly, Gordon was the one that made them add flatbreads to the menu.
I don't know about trusting the waiter, bro. Waiter's always saying some whack shit, bro. I feel like they getting commission off that. So what do you recommend? I really love the lamb risotto. What? What is that?
In the first place.
Cheers. This is also quite nice. The chicken is still nice and juicy. It's not dry, which honestly, I wasn't
Take it up on the spot. No, they probably have a go-to.
expecting. The flatbread crust is nice and crunchy.
Do you want to hear our special? Let me tell you our specials. So we are starting out with a lovely clam chowder.
While at the same time, the inside is still pretty airy for the most part. I think my only critique is that the
Every time, too. You just be staring. You holding that fat-ass menu. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have... no. Yeah, no, I'm not having any of that. Sorry. Yeah, like, we just wasted, like, a cumulative minute of our lives together. So that's great. You know, just mark that off on the clock. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing... you're not going to cut him off. You know, it's like this weird thing where it's like 80% of people... Not 80... I would say like 60% of people don't want to hear the specials, but it's like, we're still just listening to them because it's like, oh no, no, I don't want to.
barbecue sauce might be a little too sweet for my personal taste, but it's not
And sometimes you'll even have an instance where they'll be like, do you want to hear the specials? And you always go, sure.
bad. So far, it seems like the items Gordon played a part in, quite tasty.
But what about a dish he didn't influence?
According to the menu, this is Lido's famous spicy vodka pasta. And the reason why I say famous is because that's literally what they put on the menu. Personally, I've never seen it go viral, but as long as it's good, I don't care if it's famous or not. Here goes nothing. Cheers.
Yo, I'm also going to have the take that any item on a menu that has a worker's name as a part of the menu item itself is always good. Like, if it's like Giuliani's cake, something blank, like, oh my God, it's always good. Rob's chicken sandwich. Rob's ribs. That shit's good. Always. Meeseeks, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you for picking us up. Thank you for the 10 gifted spaghetti and crap jam. Dev, love potato and blue for the sub. Matt and Julian for the sub. Cuddy for the sub. Wipe, thank you for the 3. When I was younger, I made Xbox usernames Gunnar Murph instead of Gunner, and I got cooked by my friends. Loading and cool for the sub. Ashy for the 3. Have you seen Lynn, the guy that fart maxes on TikTok? No. Full wipe and PVA for the sub. Robin, Eric, Rocky, Noob, Essex, Mr. Dill, and Shock for the sub.
Hold on a second. I'd like to take one more bite. All right, everyone. I've confirmed my feelings about this pasta. Initially, I thought this would be too good to be true, but Lido's spicy vodka pasta is gas. This is really good. The sauce is a fantastic consistency. It's not too thick, not too watery. It just nicely coats the noodles. Flavor-wise, everything's great. It's exactly what you'd expect out of a spicy vodka pasta. It's got a nice little kick to it. Despite the fact that I am holding them to higher standards than the other Kitchen Nightmare restaurants, it's safe to say they are matching and maybe even exceeding them. I am thoroughly impressed.
Bro, I had a fucking... What did I have? I had a... oh my God. What is that pasta dish called with shrimp? Not shrimp Alfredo. Shrimp scampi. I had a shrimp scampi. Me and my friends went to an Italian restaurant that my one friend that booked the reservation was like raving about. He was like, this place is awesome, man. Trust me. You're gonna love it. I went, okay. I get the fucking shrimp scampi. When I tell you it comes out, and I could have gone like this and put my hand over the shrimp and just poured out, like, I don't know, maybe 2 full cups of water and oil. It was the worst shrimp scampi dish I've ever had. And I know that I wasn't just complaining because all my friends were like, how is it? I was like, it's all right. And they were like, yeah. Like, you're getting that, like, look where it's like, thank fuck I didn't order that. From your other friends, you're like, that shit looks terrible. Oh my God. How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck up shrimp scampi? That's like one of the easiest dishes.
Hopefully that transition looks cool. I'm filming with my back camera right now, so I can't actually see myself. I don't know if things are lined up properly. As everyone can probably tell, I'm really full. I think the water and bread in the beginning kind of caught up with me. Now before
I ordered something else, I'm so serious. I think I could order something and they could give me vomit on a plate and I wouldn't send it back. If it's what I ordered, I'm not sending it back. I will send stuff back if it's like, I didn't order this. If I order like a chicken sandwich and it comes in like a pool of fucking water and pee, I'm going to go, well, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to go, and I'm going to eat it. You know, I'm going to eat my piss burger. You know, I'm not going to eat my piss burger. I'm just not going to, I'm never going to go back to that restaurant.
pack up and go leave my final review.
Yeah, it is what it is. Because I'm not, in my mind, I can't be that guy that just goes, I don't like this. Like, you ordered it, you know?
There is one more thing here that I have to check out.
During the reunion,
If it's undercooked, okay, well, that's different. Yeah, if I ordered like chicken and it was raw, I'd be like, this is fucked, right? But if I just don't like it, like, that's different.
episode, Lisa actually invited
I really should have just been like, hey, and poured it into a cup and been like, this is gross. Who made this?
Gordon back to
Did they pour the boiling pot of water into the dish? Because that's what it feels like.
the kitchen to prove how clean it is. So after asking my waiter, who then had to ask a manager, I somehow was able to get the same opportunity.
That's obnoxious. Yeah, that's why I didn't do that, burger boy.
So I got up and made my way towards the kitchen, curious to see if they really do keep it spotless. Because if they don't, it doesn't matter how good the food is.
Ladies and gents, it's looking clean. All right, everyone, so I'm officially done with my meal, and I can honestly say I definitely understand why Lido's
My girlfriend acts like a Karen for me because I can't. I'll do that with Brooke sometimes. I'll be like, can you send it back?
is considered Kitchen
I can't.
Nightmare's biggest success story. The kitchen was clean, the service was fantastic, the food was spot on, and throughout my meal, the place did start filling up, which was nice to see. Based on those factors, it's definitely clear that Gordon's changes stuck around. However, despite me having a good time at most of these surviving spots, it's still a fact that over 70% of restaurants featured on the show shut down.
So the real question is,
I mean, the argument is I mean, it's really an entertainment show. Like, Gordon Ramsay's there to help them, but like most of these restaurants are just like fucked, you know?
does Gordon Ramsay actually save
unsavable.
restaurants?
In my opinion, I think he genuinely tries, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to what those restaurants do with that opportunity. I'm just glad the ones I visited have made the most of it.
That was a good video. W doing. All right.